On the Deal, episode 3. Contessa, Brewer, we outside. MetLife. Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Behind the Deal. My name is Sam Lehman. I'm over here with Contessa Brewer. She is a CNBC journalist and Emmy Award-winning journalist. She previously had contributions to MSNBC, CBS, CBSN, and WNBC. And I'll let her kind of take it away, talk a little about herself, then we'll get into a couple questions. So, Contessa,
well,
tell us a little
if
about
I'm going to talk about myself, I would like to say that I love ramen because my twins drag me to ramen all the time. What do you want to talk about, Sam? I mean, I could talk endlessly. Do I like bicycles, computer solitaire? What's my favorite book?
What is your favorite book?
I like Atlas Shrugged. You want to know why?
Why?
It taught me about capitalism.
Would you look at that? All right, well, I guess I'll talk about like your journey. Did you know from a young age that you were like wanting to be on TV, wanting to be a journalist? Did you know that, or were you want to get a sandbag?
There's no sandbag for this. No. Did I know I wanted to be a journalist? No, I wanted to be an actor, but I didn't want to starve. I was already poor and I was working my tail off to get through high school and then into college. And once I got to college, I went to Syracuse University and I looked around and I thought, oh, journalism. There's a great journalism school. And so that's where I went and have studied, and now I've been a journalist for a long time.
Now, I saw a segment a couple of years ago where you talked about the largest sports books are trying to stop problem gambling. And I thought that was really cool. I didn't really know about that.
Yeah.
So do you think this is a good step forward in like the sports gambling world? Because I know a lot of people can get addicted. A lot of people, it could be a bad habit. Do you think that these big companies stepping in is a good thing to do?
Well, they have to. In order to win their gaming license, the companies had to promise that they would take action on responsible gambling. And what that means is if someone thinks that they have a problem, they can go and sign up, say on DraftKings, and say, don't let me gamble on DraftKings. The problem is they don't all work together. And so if a problem gambler excludes on DraftKings, that person then could go to FanDuel, a competitor, or Fanatics, or Penn, to another sports book and gamble there. And even if all the licensed gambling operations in the United States were to work together, there's lots of offshore opportunities to gamble. So I think gambling addiction is really problematic. And the problem is, like anything else, alcohol or drugs, you don't know when trying it is going to lead toward addiction. So it's a good thing, I think, for people just to know it can happen. And when people have gambling addictions, it ruins lives.
That is true. Shout out to those big companies. It's a good thing. So many sports fans, they don't really fathom that a good portion of sports is kind of a business. So what's like one trend that like you've been following recently when it comes to the business of sports?
Well, how about this? The NFL now allows private equity to come in and invest in the team. So instead of just having one family or one billionaire own the team, what happens is other investors can go in and take up to 10% stake in that team and then earn the dividends. If you have the Giants suddenly doing really well and fans spending more money and ticket prices going up, then the investors get a piece of that action.
It's pretty cool. I actually didn't know that. But back to like betting, how do you think these like pro leagues are like adapting to it? Because I understand that there are a lot of scandals of players betting on themselves, players like betting on their team to win or lose, and like they get fined. Some people have even been banned from certain leagues. Like you see, there was a huge gambling issue in the NBA. A lot of players were banned for multiple games, some even banned for seasons. So how do you think these pro leagues are kind of adapting to this new gambling age?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is all of the professional sports leagues are educating their players, their coaching staff, and other employees of the teams and the league that they are not allowed to gamble on their own sport. That's it. That it would get them not only banned from the sport or fired from their job, but it can also be illegal and they could be charged criminally. The second thing is the sports books are being urged to stop putting up opportunities to wager on something that's easily manipulated. So in other words, you don't want to bet that the kicker is going to miss a goal,
Right.
right? Because a kicker can intentionally miss if he's got money on the line. but you want to bet on the kicker making the goal, which is more subject to chance.
Right. And how do you think like artificial intelligence or like AI has had an influence in like either gambling or just the sports industry in general?
That's a great question. In part, I know that AI is used to make the writing of the line. So what the sports book does in terms of setting the odds, AI is helping them do that and do that faster. But the other thing is, think about all the different ways people gamble and the different teams that they're interested in gambling on. What AI can do is help the companies identify the way somebody gambles and the teams that they're most interested in, and then serve up a promotion to them that fits their particular interest, which thereby could lead the sports books to make a lot more money.
Right. And I got a couple more here. How do you build trust with your sources? Because there's a lot of fake news nowadays. There's a Twitter page I do follow called NBA Centel, which gives you fake news, and they're never right. They'll be like, "Oh, LeBron retired," everyone believes it because people just post on social media. So, how do you build your trust with your sources at CNBC?
Well, I think that when I start a relationship with the source, the thing that I'm careful about is to understand the rules of the game and whether we're on the record, meaning I can say and report what they're telling me, or whether it's off the record, meaning if it's newsworthy, I need to go find another source for the same information. And I think when you over years establish that kind of trust, people will trust you to come to you and tell you the news that they think people want to know.
Now, we are outside New York, New Jersey Stadium. Do you
Yeah.
like the name?
I mean, look, we're used to calling it MetLife Stadium, which I'm not really a fan of naming rights of stadiums. I like the old days when it was called Giant Stadium. It's where the Giants play. Like let's go see where the Madison Square Garden doesn't have. It's the name of the company, but in Madison Square Garden, everybody knows what that is. When the naming rights happen, you have all these companies come in and change the names. But this is MetLife Stadium, where the Giants play and where the Jets play. For World Cup, they've changed it to New York, New Jersey Stadium.
Yeah.
And the governor of New Jersey is like, wait, we're in New Jersey. Why is it called New York, New Jersey Stadium rather than
J
New
becomes
Jersey,
Y. Exactly.
New York Stadium?
A little ridiculous, but
Yeah. But what else would you call it?
um,
It says where it is. It says maybe the World Cup Stadium.
maybe yeah, because I think the final's gonna be there. No,
Yeah.
so I guess they could call it like World Cup Stadium or something. But
Yeah, that would have been
they
cool.
go something a little cooler. But
But then maybe in Miami it's going to be Miami Stadium, and
it could
LA.
just be that.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess going back to reporting, I'll ask you a two-part question. What's your favorite interview you've ever done? And what is your dream interview, alive or dead? If you could interview anyone, who would it be?
That's a really good question. Well, I think I'd like to sit down with Oprah
Oprah?
and ask her why she hasn't run for president.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Mhm.
Like, I think sometimes to whom much is given, much is required. And Oprah has had a remarkable career, and she has earned a lot of trust from a lot of Americans. And I think, sometimes it might be a demanding job and not that fun for somebody who's got lots of leisure time, but stepping up and being the president might be a good one. If I were gonna I think it would have been so. You probably don't know this guy, Neil Diamond.
Wasn't he a singer?
Yeah,
I know Neil Diamond.
that's pretty good.
There you go.
I mean, he's before my time too, but
Oh.
I came to love him when I was a teenager. So, and I just thought it would be so cool to go to a concert with my mom and my grandma. Like, we would all love Neil Diamond, but it's too late now. It's gone.
Yeah. Let me think. I got something else here. Who cares? I don't need
What about Mr. Beast? I would love to interview Mr. Beast.
You want to interview Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
I feel like you have some pretty good insight. I guess
Do you think he would do an interview with me? Like,
I
hi,
mean-
I'm Contessa Brewer from CNBC. Mr. Beast, can you come talk to me a little bit about growing your multi-billion-dollar business on YouTube?
I feel like what he would talk about is the fact that, of course, it is a very profitable business, but he does often spend a good portion of the money on the videos. I think he's on the record saying, I don't have as much money as people think, and I spend on videos. I'm not too sure about all of that, but it could be true.
I mean,
Be an
and
interesting
also he
interview.
gives away a lot of, either in prize money or for good causes.
Yeah,
He gives away a lot of that money too, right?
And then I guess if you had to give a piece of advice to like someone my age wanted to be in journalism, who loves sports, like what's that one piece of advice you would
Yeah,
give?
I think just practice, practice, practice. I think you're already doing it. If you love the business of sports, then cover it every day, write every day, put out TikTok videos or Snapchat videos. Just do it every day because the practice helps you get really knowledgeable, really comfortable, and then have more great, awesome interviews like this one. This is such an awesome interview, right?
Well, I think that was pretty awesome.
I think it was great.
Yeah, I did. You have fun?
I had fun.
I hope
Are
you
they all
guys.
going to be this fun?
I hope they're all this fun.
Can I come back?
Of course you
All
come
right.
back. Well, she'll be back, and we only get this view once, so thank you, Contessa, for
Next
bringing me
time we
out
might
here.
be in a swamp.
But yeah, this view's incredible. It was very nice to interview you. A little bit of a shorter one today, but it's windy. It's a little breezy, but we got through it. So like and subscribe, comment, check out TikTok, Instagram, and hope you guys like diving into what happens behind the deal. We'll see you next time.
Cue the sirens.